The hardest part isn't saving money. The hardest part is not losing it right after. Most people don't go broke because they fail. They go broke because they relax. Something strange happens when you finally save a little money. Not a fortune, not early retirement money, just a small emergency fund. $500, $1,000, something that wasn't there before. Your life doesn't suddenly improve. Your bills don't disappear. Your job doesn't get easier, but your behavior changes. The money feels available. You feel safer, you feel calmer, you feel like you can finally breathe, and that feeling, that relief, is exactly when people start making decisions that quietly erase months of progress. This video isn't about being cheap. Emergencies happen, life happens, you will spend money again. This is about why the brain tries to spend the money you just worked so hard to protect. Before the emergency fund, there's fear. You double check prices, you hesitate before buying, you delay decisions. Fear keeps you cautious. After the emergency fund, there's relief, and relief changes behavior. Money doesn't change your situation, it changes how relaxed you feel making decisions. Picture this. You get your first paycheck after finally hitting $1,000 in savings. For the first time in months, maybe years, you're not terrified of your bank balance. The stress lifts, your shoulders drop, you sleep a little better. That relief feels good. It should. You earned it. But here's what happens next. You see something you've wanted for a while. Normally, you'd walk past it. But today, that voice in your head is quieter. Ah, you have money now. You can handle this. That's the moment. That's where months of discipline start to unravel. Relief doesn't make you smart, it makes you loose. Your first good decision after saving isn't what you buy, it's what you don't buy. According to the Federal Reserve, more than 1/3 of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency using cash or savings. That means if you've built any reserve at all, you're already ahead of millions of people. And that's where the danger starts, because being ahead creates a false sense of safety. You didn't suddenly become financially secure, you just became less scared. And fear, uncomfortable as it is often the only thing protecting people from bad financial decisions. Error number 1, the money is available. Money in your account is not the same thing as money available, but your brain doesn't care about logic. It cares about visibility and access. If the money is easy to see and easy to touch, your brain labels it as usable, spendable, flexible. Think about your checking account. You check it constantly, you see the balance. You know exactly what's there. Every transaction updates in real time. Your debit card sits in your wallet, ready to use anywhere, anytime. Now, think about a savings account at a different bank. No debit card, no app on your phone, money you'd have to transfer first, then wait a day or two to access. Same dollars, completely different behavior. The checking account money feels like yours to spend. The distant savings account money feels locked away, almost like it belongs to someone else. That's not a coincidence. That's how your brain interprets accessibility. It's the same reason food on the kitchen counter gets eaten faster than food in the back of the fridge. Visibility creates temptation, not need. Accessibility creates the illusion of flexibility. That's when people upgrade phones early, add subscriptions, justify small monthly payments. It's only $40, it won't really affect anything. I can handle it now. But small, repeatable decisions drain accounts faster than big mistakes. Big mistakes are rare. Small leaks happen every month. If it's easy to touch, your brain considers it spendable. That's not a discipline problem. That's human wiring. Error number 2, I deserve this. This one feels responsible. That's why it's dangerous. You did something right. You saved money. So your brain gives you permission to do something wrong. I've been good. I worked hard for this. I deserve a little upgrade. It's the same logic people use with food. I ate healthy all week, so I can have this entire pizza. One choice cancels out the other. Progress becomes permission. The problem isn't the pizza. The problem is that you've trained yourself to need a reward every time you do something right. Not with money, it looks like this. You've been careful for 2 months. No restaurants, no new clothes. You finally hit your savings goal, and then without planning it, you buy something small. $50, $100. It feels earned, but you didn't plan for it. It wasn't part of the system. It was an emotional decision disguised as a logical one. Rewarding yourself for discipline trains you to need rewards. And once your brain expects rewards, the system stops working because the system depends on consistency, not negotiation. Psychologists call this moral licensing. Good behavior creates permission for bad behavior. Rewards destroy systems when they aren't planned. Saving money isn't a reason to spend money. It's a reason to protect the system that made saving possible in the first place. If rewards aren't scheduled, they become leaks. Quiet, emotional leaks that feel justified in the moment and expensive over time. Error number 3, social leaks. The moment people think you're doing okay, your money stops being private. Family asks for help, friends suggest trips, you get invited to things you can now afford. And here's the trap. You don't want to look selfish. You don't want to explain your finances, you don't want to say no, so the emergency fund slowly turns into a community fund. Someone needs a loan. Just $200, I'll pay you back next paycheck. A family member has car trouble. You're the only one with savings. The conversation doesn't feel like a request. It feels like obligation. A friend invites you somewhere expensive. You hesitate. They say, "Come on, you've been doing so well lately." Now, saying no feels like admitting you're still struggling, which feels like failure. So you say yes. Not because you want to, because silence feels easier than explanation. Here's the difference. Generosity is planned. Obligation is reactive. Generosity is you deciding to help someone based on your capacity and values. Obligation is someone else deciding you should help based on their assumptions about your money. Money problems multiply when privacy disappears. The more people know about your progress, the more they assume you're available to solve their problems. And most people won't ask once. They'll ask every time something comes up. Helping people isn't wrong. Helping without rules is. Progress needs silence. The more people know, the more pressure your money feels. Privacy isn't selfish. It's protective. Error number 4, the false safety illusion. A small cushion is not a safety net. It's a starting line. This is where people stop checking accounts, stop automating, stop reviewing. They assume the danger passed. It didn't. There's a massive difference between having saved money once and being financially stable. $1,000 in the bank feels like security, and compared to zero, it is, but it's fragile security. Think about what $1,000 actually covers. 1 month of rent in most cities, maybe. A medical bill, depends. Job loss, not even close. If you lose your job, that $1,000 buys you maybe 2 weeks of groceries and partial rent. That's it. Early progress feels permanent. It isn't. Real financial security isn't one milestone. It's 3 months of expenses, 6 months, a year. It's the ability to lose your income and not panic immediately. A small emergency fund protects you from small emergencies, flat tire, broken phone, unexpected vet bill. It does not protect you from life-changing events, and your brain needs to know the difference. Lowering your guard too early is how savings disappear slowly. Security isn't having money once. It's keeping the process running month after month. This isn't about motivation. It's about structure. 3 rules. First, friction beats discipline. If money is inconvenient to access, it stays longer. What this looks like in practice, put your emergency fund in a different bank. Not the one you use daily. No debit card. No app on your phone's home screen. Make it annoying to touch. When you need the money for an actual emergency, you'll get it. It'll take an extra day, maybe 2. That's fine. Emergencies don't disappear in 48 hours, but impulse purchases do, emotional decisions do. Social pressure weakens when you can't access the money immediately. Second, silence protects progress. You don't need permission. You don't need applause. You don't need to explain. Stop updating people on your financial progress. Stop mentioning your saving. Stop celebrating milestones publicly, not because you should feel ashamed, because Privacy removes pressure. The fewer people who know you have money, the fewer people will ask you to spend it. Third, money needs walls, not intentions. Separate accounts, no debit card, pre-decided rules. Write down the rules before emotions get involved. This account is only for job loss, medical emergencies, or car breakdowns. Everything else gets handled with my regular income. Decide once, execute forever. Systems don't negotiate. Systems don't have bad days. Systems don't get tired or emotional or talked into bad decisions. Your discipline will fail. Your system won't. Saving money isn't the victory. Keeping it is. Most people don't lose money fast. They lose it quietly. If you've built any kind of emergency fund, you're already ahead. Now act like it. Protect it from your impulses. Protect it from pressure. Protect it from comfort. Saving is the easy part. Not touching it is the skill. Tap the screen to keep watching, where I break down why so many people are already failing their financial plans and the year has barely started. Do the boring stuff. It works.